Okay, so for my final project, I wanted to make an informational site for voters to see who was actually running for the position of governor in their state. So I can run through the website first just to see how it's supposed to function, and then we can go through the code in that database, or I'll just work it in as I'm going through. So the regular index page, you land at just the nationwide gubernatorial elections. Tells you the reason for it, the mission statement, and then tells you to select your state from the drop down box below. So you would go here, you pick your state, we'll go to Maryland, hit submit, and now you're at the Maryland gubernatorial election page. Um, it'll tell you here if you have a declared people who are running for Republicans. We have a current Governor Larry Hogan, um, people who want to be Democrats and running for governor, people in the Green Party, and people in the Libertarian parties. So what you can do is you can then click on the candidate's name, and it'll give you to like their candidate page with their name, party, kind of like their current role, what they do, their running mate if it's available, and their website if that's available too. And then you can just return to the previous page, and you can just select anyone else, and it's kind of the same information that you have. Um, a few of them. And the way, well, I'll go back into some of the stuff previously. And this person, I couldn't find his picture, so I just used the Maryland flag, and that's kind of what I did for the other candidates. Depending on their state, I'll just use their state flag. So you can go back to the return to state selection. Then from here, you can say go to Arizona. Sure. Go to Arizona, and then you can find like their people available. So this person doesn't have a running mate. So this message will pop up. And I was getting this data from Wikipedia as well too. So a lot of it didn't have that information. So that's why I just left the actual values in the specific tables as null. So return to previous page. And also something I did was that I think we were just at Maryland, so it showed like the Green Party there. If there's no candidate for the actual Green Party in a given state, it just won't even show like their logo and the declared green. And I think I have it like that for the Independent Party as well too. California, right? So this one has people everywhere, so that's why all of these things show up. Um, and then you can just click on whoever you want. So yeah, so no running mate available, but we have this information: is Democrat, actor, martial artist, stuntman, producer, and this website available too. So that's the gist of how the website works. So let's go into the database structure, and I should have that up. Okay, so I made a new database here called elections. Now, the main table would be this elections table. So that would have a candidate's name, their party that they're affiliated with, their role, their running mate if that information is available, their picture. Most of the pictures I got from Wikipedia as well too. I think I started off going on like random sites trying to find it, but I figured that wasn't worth the effort. And then also the state codes, if that's their abbreviations for the state if it's needed, and then their websites if they have one available. That's placed in there. I had another table, state ID, and what this is really doing, it's just helping me if I go back to the website to like fill out what like one this drop down is. So that's where I'm getting the state codes from. And then also like getting the names here, that's happening in the code as well too. So actually, let's go to the code. My brackets. Okay, I think this is showing all of the code. Should be. Some of these are just here, but don't worry about that. That's not being sent in. So the index page is what we're looking at right now. I'll move this down. So again, we connect to the server. We select oh, these were just test ones. Don't worry about this. Let me just clean this out now. For Republican. I think I was just doing this one just to make sure this worked correctly. Okay, so information that we have. So once I connect to the states, I create this form here, and it's just again just a drop down, and then it's gonna loop through everything we've gotten from the state's results from that query, and just create these options with the values of the state IDs. So once that's sent there, it's sent to the view candidates page, and that's like the larger list by state that we have. So this is fairly, I guess, a simple class for the most part. So the view candidates, we come and we get the state ID from the post method, make the connections, and then we call from the state table, um, given the state ID. So if we get like MD for Maryland, it'll loop that through the state table and actually get the explicit name of Maryland, and we're setting that to name. We're also going to call through each of, we're going to set, um, I guess, a result array from the elections table based on the state that we're in and the party type. So I've kind of like defaulted everything to just 5 for party types: Republican, Democrat, Independent, the Green Party, and Libertarian. So if we were to click Alaska, this one would say, okay, get all the candidates who are Republican in Alaska, get all the candidates who are Democratic in Alaska. So we can just have that segmented, since this page is supposed to be state specific, and we're just using that one huge table for all the candidates. So once that's there, this is just some styling. I'm using Bootstrap to make the stylings there. We come here in the container, and we just loop through creating those sections. So that's how it understands if it um, has a party affiliation and if it needs to generate that. So reps is for Republicans, Dems is for Democrats, Indy is for Independents, Green is for the Green Party, and Lib is for Libertarian. So it's just going to say if it finds any candidates within that state who are part of the Green Party, it'll create that div section and loop through all the candidates, creating like their link and even showing the Green Party logo. So that's how it determines what shows up on the page. And then here is where we create that actual link to the candidate.php page. And it's given with the ID of like their ID in the elections table, and I'm also passing in the state name as well too. And the reason I'm doing that is just again in that jumbotron area, it can continue on showing the state. So if I go to the candidate.php, where's that section at? Here. So this is where it's using that state name that I set in the form. Um, and then the actual profile is going to get this information that's set from the candidate uh, making this call to the query. So the picture again is just a URL image link, and all that's how all of this stuff is added in here to make that one page. Then we have the if-else statements to say if the running mate field is null, display no running mate info available. Otherwise, you'll echo out who the running mate is. And similar logic for the website. If it's available, you'll just make a link to it. Otherwise, you'll say no website is available for the candidate. So one of the problems I know I did run into was trying to link back to the previous page, because the previous page used a post method to send the state used in querying. So coming from this page and just sending, like, go back without having the information was going to be weird. But I found this cool trick just to go through like the JavaScript, and it'll get, like, I guess the most recent page visited, and that's how it'll go back. So yeah, that's it. This is the project. Hopefully, it's enough for people to be informed about going out to vote. I know, I think there's only like 36 states who actually have to vote, but yeah, so this information is here for them. And again, like the Alaska flag, if I couldn't find somebody's profile picture. And that's it. Thank you.